going. We're getting it. Eliminating excuses. Well, I'm not talking about eliminating excuses today. That's what I want to talk about today. One of them I want to talk about how we don't have to get rid of excuses. Sometimes we just ignore them. Good morning. Hope everyone's having a great day. This is Tony McMillan, Coach T-Mac. Getting started. That's what I wanted to make sure that I did today. As you can see, the sun is shining. The sun is out. We're out here early in the morning. Brand new day, beautiful day. And I'm walking. I'm on my journey. It's live in action. I mean, you can't script that, huh? Live action in the DR. It's here. Those are some of the sounds that you hear when you're here every day. Those are the sounds that we hear, that we celebrate, that I'm celebrating. I'm grateful I'm here, but what I wanted to do is talk about how I start. Like I'm on my way to the gym, on my way to work out. I like to go in the morning. I like to start my day. I like to get started being started. Like I like to start early. Excuse me. That helps me, I think, at least. Or I feel like I'm doing better. Get this camera angle right. I feel like I'm doing better when I start my day working out, because I don't like to lay in bed. I was up at like 5 or 6, and I'm like, well, just go do something. Let's go. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going. And I want to talk about when you set goals, how when you set goals, it can be very challenging to predict or guess the obstacles that you're going to face. It can be very challenging trying to predict what's going to happen next and what kind of things you have to overcome. Get my heart rate up. Man, maybe I should walk slower. I got to be able to talk during the whole thing. I am walking at a clip. I just want to get there, though. That's one of my favorite things to do, is working out. And you might say, well, if it's one of your favorite things to do, why do you have to set goals? Because of life. Life happens in a way that you know what you do. Well, I do the same thing. We all do it. We do some of the things that we know that we have to do, and we don't always do the things that we enjoy doing. So I have to, for my life, what helps me is I have to plan and schedule designated time to have fun. And I was like, well, I'm on my way to the gym. Let's do videos, you know, let's make this time be productive. Because I was going to say, well, let me do it after I come from the gym like I did the last one, but I was like, nah, this one's about getting started, going, doing, and not eliminating excuses, but one of the most important things you can learn how to do is ignore your own excuses. One of the most challenging things you can do is also ignore your own excuses. Because we come with these excuses so that we don't have to do it. We make up these excuses, or we find reasons. We look up stuff and research stuff, and we get all this new information why we shouldn't. Instead of doing the opposite, we should do the opposite. We should look for reasons to ignore our excuses. We should look for reasons that will actually eliminate, eradicate, and erase our excuses. There are certain thoughts that we have that we have generated that are excuses that we use on a regular basis, that by introducing new information can totally eliminate all those excuses. Like for me, I can say I had a long night, I was doing stuff. When you get up early in the morning, you're gonna be tired. You're not gonna feel like it. You know, rest is one of the best things you can do for working out, or you get this shit. All this information, yeah, Toma. But guess what? I'm here because I have goals, and I set goals, and I'm gonna get started. As you can see, or I'll add this part to the video, is I have this board that I created. It's a whiteboard. I like using whiteboards because that's how my brain looks. My brain has like 1,000 ideas running around. So that whiteboard helps me to set goals. It helps me to take my goals and put it in a place, in a safe place for me, where I can see it. And that whiteboard is very helpful because every day I wake up, I have to walk past that. I had eliminated one excuse, you know, I said, well, I can't see my goals, or it's in my head, or, you know, whatever it is that we come up with, that we say, that's an excuse why we shouldn't write stuff down. Do your research and stats. Excuse me. 90% of goals that are written down are accomplished. Whew. So, why would I not write it down? You know what I mean? Like, if more times than not, even if it was 50% chance, you know what I'm saying? Just think about it that. Even if it was 5 out of 10 goals that you write down, you will accomplish. Wouldn't that be good enough reason to write it down? Wouldn't that be good enough a reason to put it in front of you, or you can use it digitally? You don't have to use a whiteboard. I like that because I learned that there's different types of learners. And with different types of learners, you receive the information and you comprehend and absorb the information a lot better. So if I'm one of those types of learners, then why not use that? So the way I look at it is, why not use all those types of learning to help yourself learn? It was like 50-50 between auditory and visual. So there's basically 3 types. The basic 3 types of learners are visual, auditory, and tactile or sensate. Now there's other type of subcategories within those categories, but just in general, many of us receive and process and incorporate and apply information better if we see it, if we hear it, or if we physically do it. Some of us can watch somebody do something and we can do it almost exactly the way they do it. Some of us say, I don't know, I don't want to see it. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Some people say, well, I got to actually do it. Let me try it. And when I try it physically, that's that tactile part. When I try to actually experiment while doing it, that's how I learn. So, because I know those are the 3 main ways, and I know 2 of the 3 are really good for me, so I do audio things. I listen to, especially when I'm walking, I'll listen to things that encourage me and motivate me. And I'm actually developing a section of faith confessions, positive affirmations of me telling myself things, and you all have access to that too. And I have like these visual cues, like things that I'm dreaming about. I actually have pictures of them. And I have my whiteboard where I write it all down, and then I'm out here doing it. Oh, you gotta love the motos, man. Gotta love the motos. So that's one of the major modes of transportation here, if you all didn't know that. Motos, it's gotta be like three or four motos to every one car here. It's amazing. Even the taxi services, the taxis are more motos as far as bikes. When I say moto, I mean a motorbike, the little motorbikes. You might see it in the background. Yeah, so anyway, just to educate you all on why you see that kind of stuff, like, tell me why they got motos and why I always hear a moto in your videos when you're going live or when you're doing your videos on the street. It's because on the street here, it's full of them. Like you might see 1 or 2 cars, then you'll see like 8 to 10 actual motos. So yeah, so back to goal setting, back to getting started. That's the thing, stuff's gonna happen. You're gonna have distractions. You're gonna have stuff that tries to get into your way. You're gonna have obstacles, excuses, challenges, life situations. You're gonna have a lot of stuff that's gonna talk to you. You're gonna have stuff that tells you stuff. But you always have a choice. That's the part I want to talk about. As you are using those types of learning strategies, the auditory, visual, tactile, to make sure that you learn, that's awesome. And it's good to have that before you get started and while you're on the journey or as you're going. But we always have choice. We always have choice. We always have choice. And that's how we get started. Just choose to go. There's no secret recipe. There's no secret way of doing that. That's why I wanted to just do it so you all see it. Like I'm changing the scenery. You all see the background change. I'm going, I'm doing, I'm getting started. I'm not sitting in my bed doing this in my head. I said, Tomo, go. Yes, you have excuses. Yes, you have reasons why you shouldn't do it. Yes, you have explanations that will absolve you from responsibility. So what? I have goals. I have to get going. I have to get started. I have to go. I have to do it. So I'm out here sweating. This sun beaming on me. See, that's another thing I could have used to say, well, it's so hot. But it's hot here at 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, hold on. Right now it's about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and it's 90 degrees. So what? I can focus on that, or I can focus on where I'm going. And that's what getting started does. Getting started makes you focus on your goal, makes you focus on where you want to go, makes you focus on doing things to get you another step closer. So, I'm here. I have an idea in my mind, what I want to do in the gym and all this kind of stuff. I got all this stuff laid out. We don't have plans, blah, blah. I will never get to do those things if I don't get started. Whatever goal you have, whatever you're thinking about doing, whatever you're planning, you have to start. Give yourself permission to just start. Give yourself permission to get it going. Give yourself permission to not have to have everything perfect. Give yourself permission to ignore your excuses. So one of the major other teaching points, maybe I should do as a subtitle, getting started, how to get started, ignore your excuses. They're there. you'll probably come up with 1,000 more by the time your whole life is over. It looks like I'm going to the jungle, doesn't it? Like I'm doing drills. Get the hands down. You know, if you ever play line, play defensive line, you learn how to knock hands down, knock hands down. So I'm going to be like, knock your hands down. Having flashbacks while I'm doing the video with these trees. That is so cool. So, yes, they also, those that are student athletes, those of you that are athletes, I hope you all are watching this, because I'm definitely keeping you all in mind. That's why I'm not dressed in my swag. I'm not dressed up too much. I'm ready to go to the gym, ready to get it going. Like, this is my costume for the day, because this is what I'm doing. When I got up, I had to put clothes on based on where I was going. I had to get started. Get it started. Now I had to align my life with what those goals are. Now that I've gotten started, I'm going, I'm moving, I'm doing, like it's happening. I will never get here. This video would never have gotten completed with me just laying in my bed. There's certain things that will never happen in your life. You know exactly what they are. There are specific goals you set in your life. They will never happen unless you get started. You don't need those round two-ish. Don't make an excuse to get started. That's the thing. we make excuses on why we're not getting started too. Like, man, I just did my live yesterday, so if you get a chance to go, Coach T-Mac, Just Jerry, hashtag Just Jerry, hashtag Coach T-Mac. Look at some of the things that we're doing on there. But one of the things I was talking about was how it's taken me years to get to the point where I give myself permission just to go, just to do this thing. Like, I've had all this stuff in me for years. Like, some of the stuff that I'm telling you, I've been practicing it and doing it for more than 10 years of my life. And I've been quiet, I've been silent. I've been making excuses or using excuses or steps, hiding behind them, whatever you want to call it, but that's what they were. They were excuses. There were things I was using to give myself permission to not do it. So I call that an excuse. Any reason you have right now why you're not working towards your goals, all those things can be categorized and simply defined that you can take, yep, that's an excuse. Those other things, the things that you're doing, like hopefully you're watching this video, that's called motivation. You're pushing yourself and propelling yourself and equipping yourself with what you need in order for you to do it, for you to be successful, for you to move, for you to gain traction, for you to get movement, for you to actually do it, for you to get that ball rolling. There's something called momentum. Those of you that know physics and all that kind of stuff, those of you play sports, when you get something going, like winners win. You are a winner. No matter what people have told you, you are a winner. You're winning. Winning is a result of consistent decisions made consistently that will cause you or position you in a perspective of advantage or in a position of or stance, however you want to say it, but winning is not done accidentally. Winning is done by strategy and plan and preparation. Winners win. And I want you to win. I definitely learned how to be a winner. One of those key aspects of winning and becoming a winner is goal setting. And so today's, I want to make sure we go over that. One of the biggest and most effective things you can ever do is give yourself permission to ignore your excuses. We are ignoring our excuses and getting started. We have to get started. You're getting started. We're all doing this together. I know some of you are looking at this, reading this, saying, let's go ahead, let's get started. Yes, we're getting started. We're doing it. We're making it happen. We're not waiting. We're going. We're getting it. It's happening. So I want to thank you so much. This has been Coach T-Mac. We've talked about types of learners. We talked about goals. We talked about goal setting. How to get in this gym and get started. But that's what we're doing. We're just getting started. Do it. It's okay. Doesn't have to be anything but what you know you want to do, what you want to accomplish. Just get started. It's Coach T-Mac. I might not be for everybody, but I am for you. Let's go. So we out here. Got my warm up. I definitely got a warm up in. You can't tell. I got my warm up in. So now I'm out here. I'm going. I'm doing. It's happening, baby. We're making this thing happen. It's here. I have my stuff, but it don't matter. I'm gonna make it work. Now it's not to say it's too late. It's too late for me to give up. I can't. I'm here. I'm out here. I'm doing it. That's why we have to get started. Ain't nothing wrong with being where you are. The travesty is to stay there. Let's go.